duty that has taken him to historic battlefields on many of Earth's continents. He stood fast on the bloody battlefields within our own borders. He won the Cold War and preserved peace in far-reaching places like South Korea and Europe by his vigilant presence. He left the comfort of his family and endured the most demanding conditions of cold and heat, of dust and mud, of desert and jungle to fight our nation's wars. These young men, soon to be in front of you today, all volunteers, joined the Army and the infantry in a time of war. They chose to serve their nation, knowing that they may be deployed to Afghanistan or other contingency operations around the world. To commemorate the sacrifices of those who went before us, and to tangibly link the commitment of today's soldiers with their legendary predecessors, this beautiful parade field was seeded with soil taken from significant battlefields in our nation's history. On 19 March 2009, heroes or descendants of heroes from these battles spread soil on the very place where your soldiers will walk today. These battles include Yorktown, Antietam, Soissons, Normandy, Corregidor, Korea, LZ X-Ray, Iraq, and Afghanistan. When these young men march proudly past you, they will actually be walking on the ground hallowed by their infantry forefathers. This ceremony marks the culmination of months of long and arduous training, the results of which are these superb infantry soldiers prepared to take their places in infantry units around the world. We are proud of their accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, during the next few moments, there will be loud noises and smoke from the use of pyrotechnics. Please focus your attention on the far side of the parade field. The World War II Company Street serves as a constant reminder of the time-honored traditions and values of America's greatest generation. Those infantrymen who walked before us. In just a few moments, out from the past will emerge our country's next greatest generation, today's infantry warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Infantry Rifle Squad, the foundation of the Army's decisive force and the embodiment of the warrior ethos. The infantryman has the most challenging job of any member of the armed forces. He carries the fight to the enemy around the world. He is the standard bearer for all the armies of the world, leading by example in the fight to defend freedom against ruthless terror. With the increased firepower and lethality of today's weapons, every infantryman must be trained to standard in over 200 tasks to defeat our enemies on any battlefield. The infantrymen graduating today are accomplished marksmen, able to engage the enemy day and night. They understand how to shoot, move, and communicate as a team. They are adaptable warriors who can fight as a mechanized force from Strykers or Bradleys, from the sky as airborne or air assault, and whose training is the basis for our elite special operations warriors. Most importantly, they are patriots who in a time of war raised their right hand and swore an oath to God and country to defend the Constitution of the United States against any enemy. If called upon to fight building a building in Baghdad or Fallujah in Iraq, to clear the ridges of Mazi Sharif or Jalalabad in Afghanistan, or to deliver aid and provide security in the Horn of Africa or the Caribbean, these men make the difference in this global war of terror. Ladies and gentlemen, the Infantry Rifle Squad. These soldiers are wearing the equipment they train with and will carry into combat. The squad is led by a staff sergeant. He is armed with an M4 carbine. The M4 carbine is the latest evolution of the M16 family and is designed for use in vehicles and close quarters combat. The squad has 2 fire teams. Each fire team is led by a sergeant. He is also armed with an M4 carbine. This carbine is fully modular with an integrated receiver reel system that can mount the M68 close combat optic and an ANPEQ-15 infrared laser designator used to engage targets at night. Each fire team has 1 automatic rifleman. He is armed with an M249 squad automatic weapon. This is the squad and vehicle machine gun. It has a sustained rate of fire of 85 rounds per minute and weighs 17 pounds. Each fire team has 1 grenadier. He is armed with an M4 rifle and an M320 grenade launcher. This launcher fires a variety of 40mm grenades to include high explosive, illumination, colored smoke, and buckshot. The M320 provides an invaluable indirect fire capability to the infantry squad. The remaining soldier in each fire team is the rifleman. He is armed with an M4 carbine and the M136 AT4 anti-tank launcher. The AT4 fires an 84mm shape charge capable of defeating up to 14 inches of rolled homogeneous steel and breaching bunkers or masonry walls in urban structures. Additionally, each one of these soldiers is wearing the advanced combat helmet with the ANPVS-14 monocular night vision device. This night vision device allows the soldiers to see in low or no light conditions. Coupled with the laser designator on his weapon, he can place effective fire on all targets at night. On his torso, he is wearing the IOTV, or Improved Outer Tactical Vest, which consists of 4 armored plates capable of stopping small arms fire and fragmentation. Additionally, he is wearing ballistic eye protection, knee and elbow pads, and a water hydration system. All members of today's infantry squad are from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment. This is the modern-day warrior, armed and equipped to fight and win anywhere, anytime, in any type of terrain, against any enemy. These infantrymen are trained and motivated to defend our country and preserve our way of life. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a round of applause for the United States Army Infantry Squad. Returning to the parade field is the United States Army Maneuver Center of Excellence Band, led by Drum Major Sergeant First Class Scott Taylor, under the direction of Captain Aaron Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, now marching onto the parade field are the infantrymen from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, and Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment. The company commander for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, is Captain Roger Wilson II, and the company first sergeant is First Sergeant Larry Green. The company commander for Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, is Captain Michael Hammond, and the company first sergeant is First Sergeant Joshua
too damn short and can't see him. Oh, that was quick. Be the biggest speed walk in the world.
The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Captain Joshua Gaetano, Executive Officer of the 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the arrival of the official party. Chaplain Jeremy Gross, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment Chaplain, will offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the rich heritage of the infantry and for these soldiers standing before us on this hallowed field of ground. They are now ready to take their position in history as they join the storied band of soldiers known as the United States Army Infantry. We thank you for the instructors and leadership who have allowed for this day to arrive and for the family and friends and the love and encouragement they provide. They are now part of the Army family serving alongside their soldiers here today. Be ever present in the minds and hearts of these well-trained soldiers, reminding them that they are now part of an organization that is defined by loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. May these values continue to be embedded in their hearts and remain a part of the brave and bold infantrymen they have become. But we ask all these things now in your name. Amen.
The official party for today's ceremony consists of the 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel John McLaughlin, and Command Sergeant Major Jason Booten. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before you are the newest members of that unique band of brotherhood that is the United States Infantry. Today, your young men join that same fraternity that stormed the beaches of Normandy, hunted the enemy in the Ashaw Valley, parachuted into Panama, beat incredible odds in the streets of Somalia, and currently subdue our enemies in Afghanistan. Those graduating today have mastered the basic skills necessary to become infantrymen in the United States Army and stand ready to defend this great nation against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Trooping the line originated over 3 centuries ago when King Charles II returned from exile in 1660 to claim the throne of England. A crack cavalry regiment, formerly under Oliver Cromwell, decided to offer its allegiance to King Charles. Outriders from the royal party met the cavalry on a desolate stretch of the countryside and reported back to the king. With some justifiable suspicion, King Charles went on foot with a lone attendant to assure himself that this was not a trap. King Charles passed slowly along the ranks of the troops and carefully scrutinized each man's face for signs of treachery. Convinced of the sincerity of the offer, King Charles accepted the allegiance of the commander. The 19th Infantry was organized under authority of a proclamation issued May 4th, 1861 by President Abraham Lincoln, increasing the strength of the regular army. Shortly after activation, the regiment fought on the battlefields of Chickamauga, Georgia. The firmness of the 14th Corps under General Thomas on that disastrous field of Chickamauga was all that saved the terrible defeat from becoming a hopeless rout. Stationed on the left of General Thomas's line, the 19th Infantry Regiment, then commanded by Major E.L. Dawson, again bore the brunt of the fiercest assault. From early morning until late afternoon on September 20th, the shock and carnage were as close as deadly as men could make them. When their ammunition was exhausted, the men were told to use their bayonets and hold their ground. They replied that they would hold their position or go to hell from it. And they did hold until the Union Army was safely through McFarland's Gap. 75% of the regiment fell killed or wounded at Chickamauga. Its heroic stand against overwhelming odds on September 20th, 1863 won for the 19th Infantry Regiment its proud appellation, the Rock of Chickamauga. The 54th Infantry Regiment was established on 15 May 1917 in the regular army and organized on 16 June 1917 at Chickamauga Park, Georgia. It was assigned to the 6th Infantry Division on 16 November 1917. During World War I, the regiment participated in campaigns from the Vosges Mountain to the Argonne Forest and back to the south of France, earning the famous Mailfoot crest. The 54th Infantry Regiment was inactivated on 24 October 1922 at Fort Wayne, Michigan. During World War II, the regiment was reactivated and redesignated the 54th Armored Infantry, an element of the 10th Armored Division at Fort Benning. The regiment participated in many campaigns in Europe and was a key element in the relief of Bastille, earning both a Presidential Unit Citation and the Belgian Croix de Guerre with Palm. The regiment inactivated on 1923 October 23rd at Camp Patrick Henry, Virginia. During the Vietnam War, elements of the regiment were reactivated and participated in many campaigns in Vietnam. On 16 June 1989, the regiment's 2nd Battalion was reorganized under the U.S. Army regimental system and transferred to the United States Army Training and Doctrine Command. TRADOC assigned the battalion to Fort Benning, Georgia. Today, the 2nd Battalion is the only remaining battalion of the 54th Infantry Regiment and proud custodian of its regimental colors. The 198th Infantry Brigade was organized on November 21st, 1921, as part of the Army Reserve 99th Division at Erie, Pennsylvania. After service in World War II in the 99th Infantry Division and Vietnam in the 23rd American Division, the 198th was activated once again at Fort Benning, Georgia, as part of Training and Doctrine Command on May 18th, 2007, replacing the Infantry Training Brigade. Today, as part of the 198th Infantry Training Brigade, the 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, and the 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment continue their long history of proud service by training infantrymen to join infantry units around the world, living by the 198th Infantry Brigade motto, brave and bold. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and feel free to sing along during the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen, if you are not in uniform, please remove your headgear. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The infantry soldiers graduating today come from many parts of the United States. The flags of the 50 states and 8 territories displayed at the museum symbolize the broad base of our national defense. The company standing before you has conducted a turning blue ceremony. Because blue is the color of the infantry, this ceremony culminated with each graduating soldier receiving the coveted symbols of an infantryman. The cross rifle insignia with blue background discs and the blue infantry cord. Turning blue signifies the rite of passage of these soldiers to carry on the finest traditions of the infantry. The infantry cross rifles, blue discs, and blue cord mark these soldiers as qualified to be the finest soldiers in the world. United States Army Infantrymen. The soldiers most responsible for the training of these infantrymen are the drill sergeants, who are carefully selected by the Department of the Army. The brown round campaign hat of the drill sergeant has been a stoic symbol of professionalism and pride since 1962. At this time, the drill sergeant of the cycle for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment will recite the drill sergeant creed.
The drill sergeant creed. I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride itself, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standards of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I would not do myself. But first, last, and always, I am an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant. This will defend.
At this time, the official party will present the awards. The drill sergeant of the cycle and distinguished honor graduate will each receive the Army Achievement Medal, a 1-year membership to the National Infantry Association, a plaque from the United States Armed Forces Association, a plaque from the Non-Commissioned Officers Association, a plaque from Mahone Productions, and a gift card from Ranger Joe's for outstanding performance. The drill sergeant of the cycle for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment is Staff Sergeant Corey Thompson from Freeport, Maine. Drill Sergeant Thompson's wife, Melanie, is being presented a bouquet of flowers in recognition of her support to her husband. The Distinguished Honor Graduate for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, is Private Travis Walmer from Bristol, Tennessee. Private Walmer, his follow-on assignment is the Tennessee National Guard. The Drill Sergeant Disciple for Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, is Staff Sergeant Ralph Warren from Fremont, California. Drill Sergeant Warren's wife, Irene, is being presented a bouquet of flowers in recognition of her support to her husband. A Distinguished Honor Graduate from Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, is Private Anthony Turner from Corona, California. Private Turner's follow-on assignment is Fort Polk, Louisiana. The support cadre of this cycle will receive an Army Achievement Medal, a plaque from the Association of the United States Army, and a plaque from Mahone Productions for outstanding performance, and a gift card from Ranger Joe's. The support cadre of the cycle for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, is Sergeant Jimmy Davis. Sergeant Davis serves as a Human Resources Sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us again in giving these fine awardees a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the Battalion Commander of 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel John McLaughlin.
Colonel Kendrick, Colonel Lynn, Command Sergeant Major Haney, distinguished guests, friends and family of the Rock Force and Male Foot Battalions. Good morning and welcome to Fort Benning, Georgia, the home of the infantry and the home of the United States Army's Maneuver Center of Excellence. This morning we will graduate our Army's newest infantrymen, and our nation is stronger because of it. Thank you for joining us to celebrate this important milestone in the lives of the young men assembled before us. To begin, I would like to acknowledge the unwavering support provided by the Maneuver Center of Excellence Band. Their participation always helps to make these inspiring events a more memorable occasion. For the past 14 weeks, the drill sergeants and cadre have spent countless hours endeavoring to transform the civilians who arrived here at Fort Benning into soldiers, and training these soldiers to become infantrymen. They have trained them to engage and destroy targets with the weapons you saw at the beginning of the ceremony, to move through the thick woods of Georgia as a member of a rifle squad, to communicate and to sustain and maintain themselves and their equipment. They have trained these soldiers to be physically strong, morally straight, and mentally tough infantrymen. For the investments they have made in the transformation of your loved ones, please join me in a round of applause for the cadre and drill sergeants of Charlie and Delta. Those drill sergeants know that the infantrymen who stand before us today did not come here as a blank slate. The drill sergeants built upon the strong foundation constructed by the family and friends here today, as well as those who could not attend. You transformed these boys into men. Men who volunteered to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies. The fact that you raised young men willing to make that sacrifice after spending at least half, if not most of their lives, with their nation at war against terrorism and oppression is a tribute to the foundations you have laid. For the support you have and will continue to provide to your soldiers, and for entrusting us with their care, I applaud and thank each of you and welcome you to the Army family. Earlier in the ceremony, we recognized the veterans in attendance today. Soldiers of Charlie and Delta companies, these men and women are our nation's heroes. They are in your families and in your communities. They are in the ranks you will soon join. As the nation prepares to celebrate Memorial Day this weekend, you must remember that it is your solemn obligation to honor and live up to the legacy that they and every infantryman since the Revolutionary War have forged. You do that by living up to the oaths to which you have sworn and the creeds which you have memorized. By supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States, by standing as a guardian of freedom, and by remaining your country's strength in war and her deterrent of peace. As the heirs to the legacy of the United States Army Infantry, we must maintain the discipline of recognizing our past in the manner which it deserves to be recognized, lest we forget. Take the time today to look at the monuments of stone that surround us on this field. Monuments in places such as these are a recognition of sacrifice, a way of saying thank you to those who were and are brave enough to defend this country. Standing on this field today, a field which is formed from the soil of Iraq, Afghanistan, and many of the battlefields upon which our nation has fought. You have shown through your actions that you understand what those noble warriors fought for and died for on the hallowed fields of battle. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their values, and born of their memories, may you continue to stand for the ideals for which those brave warriors lived and died. You, like the captor standing in front of and behind you, are now men of action. You have forsaken the luxury of talking about how to solve the world's problems on social media or in the coffee shops, bars, and golf courses of America. Your actions will send a louder message to the enemies of our nation and the enemies of freedom than the message delivered from any network or podium could ever hope to send. You've embarked upon a profession which is undeniably hard. That hardship can manifest itself as suffering or sacrifice. The difference lies within you and the purpose behind your actions. I challenge you to live your lives in a manner which makes the hardships matter. Live your lives in a manner which makes the sacrifices of the giants who've come before you matter. In doing so, you will ensure that those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of this nation did not die in vain. Your service and sacrifice will ensure that the legacy of our fallen will echo through eternity and not just on Memorial Day. From this day forward, you will be known to the world as United States Army infantrymen. You are now part of a legacy which predates the birth of our nation. You will share uncommon lives and challenges with your fellow infantrymen and must be willing to do what your country requires in order to defend, to protect this great land. You must be willing to march a little further, carry a heavier load, and step out into the darkness of the unknown for the safety and well-being of others. So as you get ready to pass a review and transition to your next duty station, I congratulate you once again on behalf of Command Sergeant Major Buda and the entire Rock Force and Melfolk battalions. And we thank you for your service to our great nation. I wish you and your families good luck and Godspeed as you build upon the legacy of the heroes who have come before you. Brave and bold, follow me, one force, one fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Soldier's Creed is the standard for all soldiers to live by. The Soldier's Creed helps soldiers understand that despite their very diverse backgrounds, all soldiers are warriors and members of a team. We invite all soldiers, both past and present, to stand and join us as the Distinguished Honor Graduate from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, Private Travis Wilbur, leads his infantry brothers in the Soldier's Creed.
The Soldier's Creed! I'm an American soldier! I'm an American soldier! I'm a warrior and member of a team! I'm a warrior and member of a team! I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values! I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values! I always place the mission first! I'll always place the mission first! I'll never accept defeat! I'll never accept defeat! I'll never quit! I'll never quit! I'll never leave a fallen comrade!
As the soldiers pass to your front, we invite you to take pictures, but please remain in your seats. When the American flag passes to your front, we ask that you rise and that the gentlemen remove their headgear. Once the American flag is passed to your location, you may be seated. Additionally, we ask that you please remain in your seating area until the MCOE band has completely left the field at the conclusion of the ceremony. For today's ceremony is Captain Joshua Gaetano from Dahlonega, Georgia. Now approaching the reviewing stand is the Maneuver Center of Excellence Band, led by Drum Major Sergeant First Class Scott Taylor, under the direction of Captain Aaron Morris. Is commanded by Captain Roger Wilson from Nauvoo, Alabama. The platoon sergeant from 1st Platoon is Sergeant First Class Richard Spencer from Baytown, Nevada. The platoon sergeant from 2nd Platoon is Staff Sergeant Joseph Koslinski from Detroit, Michigan. The first sergeant for Charlie Company is First Sergeant Larry Green from Gainesville, Florida. The color sergeant is Staff Sergeant Nathan Runyon from Aztec, New Mexico. Delta Company 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment is commanded by Captain Michael Hamm from Memphis, Tennessee. The platoon sergeant from 1st Platoon is Staff Sergeant Kenneth Ventries from Boston, Massachusetts. The platoon sergeant from 4th Platoon is Staff Sergeant Kevin Overby from Postsmith, New Hampshire. The first sergeant for Delta Company is First Sergeant Joshua McComas from Marysville, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in singing the infantry song and the army song. The words are in the back of the program.